This video is brought to you by Squarespace. Stick around to the end of the video for a special offer they're making available through my channel. So gamers, what color Lambo did you buy with your game stonks? What's that? You haven't sold them because you're a diamond-handed GigaChad hodler?
Keep it up, proud of you.
This week, gamers finally put their theory crafting min-max skills to good use in the fight against the ultimate raid boss, hedge fund douchebags. It all began when hedge fund Melvin Capital shorted GameStop, predicting that it would go belly up. But the Wall Street Bets subreddit wasn't having it, buying up the stock in vast quantities and pumping it to an all-time high of $483 a share. That made GameStop more valuable than Apple and Microsoft shares combined. Obviously, that's crazy, and everyone knows it's crazy because Wall Street Bets aren't in it for the profit at this point. They just want to make Wall Street pay. Still, gravity is inescapable, and GameStop's price is quickly crashing back down to earth, losing over a third of its value today alone, closing at $227 a share. Can I just say it's so weird that GameStop, of all companies, became the rallying point for people, because gamers hate GameStop. We all agree on that. I mean, what's next? Gamers pumping Konami stocks to stick it to the man, propping up their pachinko business so Japanese hedge funds take a dirt nap? Man, finance is so weird. When we think skateboard games, we all think Tony Hawk, but the real ones out there also know about Skate. Tony Hawk had the tight and snappy combos, but Skate had the best bails in the business, even going so far as to introduce a Hall of Meat scorecard to show you just how much you've totaled yourself. It was like that crash mode in Burnout, except instead of wrecking cars, you were wrecking your nuts. Anyway, last year, after much begging and pleading, EA greenlit Skate 4, which was announced by these two wholesome dudes who made no effort whatsoever to contain their excitement.
We cannot believe you commented this into existence. Amazing. Skate changed my life. Thank you so much. Skate forever.
Now, we certainly don't have a release date for Skate, but this week we learned that EA have set up a new studio in Vancouver called Full Circle, specifically to make Skate 4. The studio is comprised of a number of developers who previously worked on the series. This is just a feel-good story right here, and I'm really happy we're getting another Skate game. Remember Bleeding Edge? If you answered no, then yeah, right on. That's the correct answer. When I reviewed Bleeding Edge, I said, I hope this doesn't get lawbreaked, and sure enough, it's been lawbreaked. Developer Ninja Theory announced on Twitter this week that Bleeding Edge will no longer receive any more content updates, and they'll be moving on to other projects. It's sad because it was pretty fun, but not nearly fun enough, so a lot of people saw this coming. You know what isn't struggling? The Last of Us 2. As of this week, The Last of Us 2 is now the most awarded game in video game history, racking up 268 Game of the Year awards, edging out The Witcher 3, which previously held the record. I'm sure we're going to have a wonderful, fruitful, respectful conversation about this in the comments section below. Here's something that really sucks. Did you ever play Shadow of Mordor? If you did, you'd remember the Nemesis system, a clear means of connecting you with mini-bosses that would dynamically hunt you, or that you could hunt, and it created this very meaningful to and fro between you and the forces of Mordor. Well, according to Mark Brown of the Game Maker's Toolkit, Warner Brothers, the publisher, have patented this gameplay mechanic, which explains why no other games have tried to replicate it. If you thoroughly hate the idea of patenting game mechanics, good, you're not alone. Obsidian design director Josh Sawyer wrote, "If I ever try to legally protect a gameplay mechanic, I hope I'm executed via the Persian boats." Frustratingly, the idea of patenting gameplay mechanics is not new. Namco had a patent on loading screen minigames, dooming gamers to dull and useless on-screen hints while we waited for our games to load. This is the rough equivalent of painters patenting certain types of brushstrokes, or directors patenting certain camera angles. It's utterly bullshit, and it has absolutely no place in any art form, including video games. Good news for Star Wars fans, Knights of the Old Republic 3 is in development. The news comes from the Bespin Bulletin podcast, which has a strong track record with reliable leaks. They've said they confirmed the story with Jason Schreier of Bloomberg, and the only thing we know is that it's not being developed within EA, and quote, "We'll never guess who the studio is that's making this game." It's probably not Ubisoft's Massive, since it's already been confirmed that they're working on a Star Wars title, so it's probably some other studio working away in secret. Either way, that's exciting because KOTOR is the best Star Wars game, full stop, so more KOTOR can only be a good thing. Unless it sucks, in which case it's a bad thing. Speaking of Star Wars, did you know that 19 million people claimed a copy of Star Wars Battlefront 2 when it was free on the Epic Games Store? 19 million! The game only sold like 10 million units, and EA just gave away nearly 20 million copies of it. Crazy. Breaking news right here, Google has just announced that they are closing all of their first-party Stadia developers and changing their Stadia strategy, focusing on third-party partnerships. 150 developers have just lost their jobs, though Google says they'll try to find them new jobs working on other soon-to-be-cancelled Google products. Stadia itself will continue to exist as it has, it just won't be making any first-party exclusive titles. This is such a dick move from Google, who promised these 150 devs a long-term gig, and now these people are just out on their ass. Making games takes an average of 3 years, and Google shit-canned them just 1 year into this work. What did they expect was going to happen? It's utter rubbish. It's unsurprising though. Anyone who knows anything about video games has been saying from the start that Stadia's business model is terrible and has no chance of success. I see this as step 1 of the Stadia wind down, and in the coming months, Stadia will be ground down into an enterprise solution that can be used to buttress cloud gaming development, not a consumer-facing product. Do not buy any games on Stadia. For the love of God, you will not be able to play them in like 12 to 18 months. While Stadia sucks, the console manufacturers are making bank. Console sales numbers are always interesting to look at, so let's do that. For example, this week the Nintendo Switch has surpassed the entire live sales of the 3DS. The Switch has now sold 79 million units compared to 75 million 3DSs. It feels almost cruel to bring up the fact that the Wii U only sold 13.5 million units, and 6.5 million of those were purchased by Scott the Woz. Microsoft have done well for themselves. Gaming revenue is up 50% this year, owing to the launch of the Xbox Series consoles and the continued growth of Game Pass subscriptions. These numbers would have been higher but for the fact that no one can get their hands on a next-gen Xbox, or a PS5 for that matter, and that isn't likely to change anytime soon. Both consoles are powered by AMD chipsets, and AMD themselves have made clear that they expect stock shortages to last until mid this year at the earliest, most probably later. For what it's worth, I've heard the same things from some industry people that I've been speaking to, so yeah, I mean, just put a pre-order down if you're waiting for a console, because it's not like they're all of a sudden gonna be appearing on shelves anytime soon. This crowd in Japan sure got the message. Fans desperate to get their hands on a PS5 were so frenzied that police had to be called and the sale was cancelled. Quote, "They pushed so hard that even the cash registers and staff went backwards. I've never seen this kind of insanity in Japan before." Really, dude? You've never seen that? Have you been on a train in Japan? They have people whose job it is to push other people onto trains. If Japanese people are willing to go through this just to get to work each day, just imagine what they'd be willing to endure to get their hands on a PS5. Okay, so what was announced or delayed this week? Well, first up, we finally got an update on Biomutant, the Conker-looking open-world RPG adventure game thing that was revealed a while back, but since then we've heard almost nothing. Now this looks impressive, with a level of pop that you wouldn't expect from a team that is only 20 people large. Way too early to judge at this point since we have to get our hands on it first, but I'm looking forward to this. It just got a release date aiming for May 25th on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. They're making a Gollum game, don't you know? Right now, all we have is a teaser trailer, but that's more than enough to get me pumped. Gollum was planned for this year, but has just been delayed to 2022. No specific release date yet. A while back, I mentioned Returnal, the upcoming third-person roguelike shooter from House Marquee. It was originally releasing on March 19th, that's my birthday by the way, but has been pushed back to the 30th of April, with Sony saying this was to give the developers more time to polish the game. Returnal is a PS5 exclusive. Another PS5 exclusive that also got a release date is Destruction All-Stars, and the good news is that the release date is today, the 2nd of February. And the even better news is that this game is coming free with a PS Plus membership. Sony recently did a State of Play showcase for this, and it's looking really good. It's like a hero brawler meets Twisted Metal, and it just looks super fun. Sony have had a strong track record with these types of games going gangbusters through PS Plus. That's where Rocket League got its start. That's where Fall Guys exploded. Will it be the same here? I don't know, but I will certainly be checking it out. The final announcement is for something called The Day Before, and I've never seen so many people call bullshit on a trailer so quickly. The trailer here makes it look like basically The Division meets The Last of Us, with really impressive visuals, solid action, great tension, and immersive survival mechanics. The problem is that this developer has never made a game that looks anywhere near this good. So this is a suspicious leap in quality. There's also the trailer itself, which just feels really scripted and has that terrible fake gamer talk that even Ubisoft has stopped using.
Alright. I have found a great cowboy hat. Tell her everything's alright. and there aren't any more guns in the valley.
Easy, cowboy.
Look, I'm an optimist, but I'm really just mashing the doubt button on this one. The Day Before does not have a release date, but it's got a page on Steam. Yeah, let's come back to that one later. So what came out last week? Well, there was the first DLC for Immortal Phoenix Rising. It's called A New God, and it's meant to be very puzzle-centric. Reviews paint a bit of a mixed picture of this one, so it's likely just for the die-hard fans, of which I am one because I really loved Immortals, so I will be checking out this DLC. Cyber Shadow also came out, and it's done very well for itself. The game is sitting at an 85 critic score and a 74 user score on Metacritic, and it's 78% on Steam. IGN scored it an 80, saying, quote, Cyber Shadow's excellent gameplay, level design, variety, and music make it a great modernization of the classic Ninja Gaiden formula. If you're looking for some 8-bit kicks, you can get Cyber Shadow on all platforms, and it's on Game Pass. The big release this week was The Medium, and this one has evoked some strong reaction from people. Now, first up the numbers. This is sitting at a 76 critic and a 72 user score on Metacritic, but it's at a much stronger 85% on Steam, which is in my view the most valuable metric since these people have actually purchased the game and put at least some time into it. I also reviewed it, and I don't score games, but I recommended this one, and I said, look, it's got some problems, a lot of people will find it dull, but I really enjoyed it. I got some strong feedback about that position. A lot of people really hate this game, commenting that its gameplay is dull and dated, its stealth is tedious, and its writing is flat. I don't necessarily disagree with that, and I think that most people who enjoyed it are more than willing to admit that this game has its fair share of problems. For me, The Medium is a reminder that not all games need to be the best game ever or utter trash. Sometimes they can just be pretty good. The Medium is pretty good, and if you don't believe me, it's on Game Pass, so you can boot it up for yourself and find out. I'll leave a link to my review in the description below. So what's coming out this week? Well, first up, The Division 2 is getting a next-gen update today. People on Xbox Series X and PS5 can expect 4K 60 FPS Division 2, not bad. Slay the Spire is coming to Android on the 3rd. I don't talk much about mobile games, but Slay the Spire just feels like one of those games that would work really well on your phone. This game has a 97% positive rating on Steam. This is a great game, and if you haven't checked it out yet, you should. On the 4th, you can expect a Switch and PS4 version of Haven, the charming exploration-based RPG that's been getting pretty solid reviews. I'm playing through it at the moment and quite enjoying it. Xbox and PC people have already had this, and it's available on Game Pass. And on the 5th, it's International Neo Day. PS5 owners get Neo 1 and Neo 2 remastered, along with all of the DLC. You can buy these separately or together in a bundle. PC players get Neo 2 complete on PC, which is, yeah, it's Neo 2 on PC with all the DLC. I have played Neo 2, I really liked it. It's really fucking hard. It's basically Dark Souls meets Monster Hunter. That's a frustratingly brief description, but that's all we have time for today because we've got to keep these videos short and to the point. Put this on your radar. One thing I really hope you guys will check out this week if you have a PC is the Steam Festival. It's running from Feb 3rd to Feb 9th, and it's a showcase of upcoming games that features up to 500 playable demos. This is a fantastic opportunity to just stumble upon something that you might love. Just get lost in the directory, click on some stuff, download some demos, and give them a go. All eyes go to stuff like E3 and the Game Awards for big announcements, but in the Steam Festival, stuff is announced and it's immediately playable, so you know you aren't falling for bullshit trailers. Anyway, I love these events, so do check it out if you have the time. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it's your favorite segment, Sort of Free Stuff. February's PS Plus games were revealed, and it's one hell of a swag. We've already spoken about Destruction All-Star, so that's nice. The other one is Concrete Genie, which is like Jet Set Radio if it was completely different in every single way except for the graffiti. The money shot this month is Control Ultimate Edition. Now, first of all, Control is awesome and you should definitely play it. Celebrating this one is tricky though because Control's publisher, 505 Games, swore that they couldn't give people a free upgrade to next-gen consoles despite accidentally giving it away for free at one point. Now, PS4 owners get Control Ultimate, and PS5 owners get the free upgrade everyone's been clamoring for. Xbox owners are left with nothing but a big fat middle finger from 505 Games. It's cool that PlayStation owners get the free upgrade to next gen. It really sucks that Xbox owners have to pay for it. This month's Games with Gold may soften the blow a little. Gears 5 is there, but let's be real, which Xbox owner hasn't already played Gears 5? Dandara is a 2D Metroidvania platformer, and Resident Evil is Resident Evil. It's a remake of the original, but a lot less impressive than the Resident Evil 2 remake. You can also get Lost Planet and Indiana Jones to whet your appetite for the upcoming Bethesda Indiana Jones games. Very clever, Microsoft, I see you. And on the Epic Store, you can get Dandara this week, and For the King starting February 5th. For the King is a tactics-based roguelike. I have not played it. It looks cute. Guys, this section is typically reserved for the feel-good story of the week, but I'm just not feeling good today, and I'll tell you why. Recently, CD Projekt Red released official modding tools for Cyberpunk, enabling modders to get down to the important work of making sure that we can have sex with everyone in the game. Modders quickly rolled out a mod allowing you to have sex with Keanu Reeves, but CD Projekt Red quickly swooped in and spoiled the fun, taking down the mod. In a response to the community, CD Projekt Red said this: "When it comes to models of real people whom we've asked to participate in the game, we kindly ask you to refrain from using them in any situation that might be found offensive if you don't have their explicit permission." I'm unconvinced by this response because, as we know, Keanu did appear in the last-gen console ports of this game, so obviously he's comfortable appearing in content that many find offensive. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. If you're still here, it's because you couldn't be bothered to close the video or you enjoyed yourself, and if it's the latter, please do me a solid and hit the like button, subscribe for more substandard content, hit the notification bell so your phone will buzz at 3 AM when you're trying to get some sleep, and don't forget to check out Layman Gaming for up-to-the-minute news and hot takes. This Week in Video Games is also available as a podcast on all major platforms. Links are below, and if you're listening as a podcast, please leave a positive review in the podcast stores. That helps me out. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. If you've got a blog or a hobby or a business idea that you want to take to the next level, then Squarespace is your best bet. Squarespace offers the world's best set of custom website design tools, allowing absolute beginners to immediately begin creating professional-looking websites. They don't just look good either. They have almost everything your website will need for both you and the people viewing it. Stuff like appointment scheduling for clients, or traffic overview so you can see how many people are visiting your site. You can schedule posts so that you can put future content in the pipeline, and you can even build a comment section so you can begin building an online community. Head to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch your idea, go to squarespace.com/skillup to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring the video, and thank you for watching it. Thanks for watching my video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down so I know to do better for next time. If you enjoyed yourself, consider subscribing, and if you really enjoyed yourself, maybe consider hitting that notification bell so you never miss a video. You can see my patrons here on the left. They're awesome. They're amazing. If you want to join them, check out my Patreon page. Thank you again. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.